Hi everybody, and on The Fan Awakens today we are going to talk about the Marvel comic series Lando. Okay, this was pretty cool. The 5-part miniseries that was replacing the Princess Leia series, Lando, and I just finished it, and the first thing that I want to say that really stood out to me was the artwork. As a comic book reader, this is my first year really reading a lot of comic books, and I have been trying to pay more attention to the artwork itself. This one really stood out to me. I don't know a lot about the style of it. It had a very, what the word is, unpolished, unfinished. It had a kind of, like shading. It looked a lot like art. And I liked that. It was cool. It drew attention to it without being distracting, and I found myself pausing to just look at the panels a lot of times when before I've had to make myself slow down instead of just trying to read all the bubbles. So I thought that was really cool. That this is one of the first times I've really been paying attention to the artwork itself, just automatically, without having to make myself do it. And that was cool. I don't know. I have to read more or listen to more about experts talking about different styles and what kind of styles fit what kind of stories. I think that'd be really interesting to learn more about, and I'll start to sort of try to pay attention to those things. But I really dug the artwork in this series. The next part, I would say that was interesting was Lando himself. I mean, Lando is a bit of a cartoon character. Anyway, he's not really in like much of the movies. He doesn't have a lot of screen time, and we love Billy D. He has this Shaft, smooth vibe about him that we all like to mimic and play around with and have fun with. And the beginning of this series starts with him in bed with a Moff, a high-ranking Imperial officer. She's talking to him, and he's they're canoodling in bed, and you think, oh, that's so Lando. And you might, and I thought, well, okay, this is going to be fun. This is going to be, 5 series of Lando being Lando, and that's cool. But it wasn't. It wasn't. It started off that way, and I think that was right, but over the course of 5 episodes, we got to see growth. But it's not so much that Lando grows from issue number 1 to issue number 5. He grows in our estimation, I think. I began the series liking Lando just like anyone else, but he didn't have a lot of depth to me. I mean, then that's fine. It's been fine for a long time, and that's okay. But by the end of the series, he had a lot of depth. They revealed a lot of depth, and I think that was really interesting. And I won't look at Lando the same now, and that goes right back to what we've been saying about the story group and how they're not afraid to take chances, not afraid to change the way you look at things. And this would be a really good example of that. The story itself is on the surface is a standard sort of thing where there's Lando and Lobot, and they're friends, and they've got to pull a heist, one last heist kind of thing, and Lando's the criminal, but he's the criminal you love, and they add a character, a lady bounty hunter named Chaneth Cha, who was really pretty cool, and I hope we see more of. She has history with both Lando and Lobot, and it on the surface it's pretty cool, but then it gets real dramatic, gets real deep, and I was moved by it. I was moved. This was not just standard fun stuff. This was really kind of deep, and I dug that a lot. And with Lobot, really he's the heart and soul of this thing, and he he talks at first, which is surprising because we never thought Lobot talks, and he's got these implants on his head he keeps referring to, and they're put in because he was a battlefield general, and it makes his brain more efficient, but he's always like fighting to keep them at bay, to keep them from taking over his mind, and that's real interesting, and I'd like to learn more about that. Yeah, I think the key here is Lobot and Lando's relationship with him. He's injured, and in the course of the story, and then as he's injured and he's fighting harder to keep his brain, to keep his personality and keep his consciousness, present. And then ultimately he has to make a sacrifice to save everyone's life. He basically gives in to the implants, and it ends his life. He then becomes a robot with no personality, almost like the real person inside him is like in a coma, and he's now just being controlled by a computer, and that's the way we see him in Empire Strikes Back. And it was really sad. And then you realize this is why they chose to set this 5-issue arc at this point in time in Lando's life, because this is when something huge happened to him, this big event, and it's really, really significant. And there's this whole sequence at the end where Lobot has succumbed to these computers, and he has realized this day may come at some point and left a recording for Lando, basically saying, I love you, man, but you're better than this. People love you. You're a natural leader. Stop screwing around and use your power for good. And so you think, wow, this is a huge moment in the timeline of Lando, and I didn't even know there were any huge moments in the timeline of Lando. So yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was really cool, and we're, I'm left going, man, I'm glad I read that. Like, it is, I guess it's not required reading to watch Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, but dang, if I don't want to look at those things much differently now. And now, when Billy D. Williams wasn't necessarily announced to be in The Force Awakens, I was like, well, I mean, I'd like to see him again, but whatever. And now I want to see him again. Now I want to know, where's Lando? What happened? What became of him? I'm as interested in him as Han Solo now. So I mean, it was effective storytelling, really effective storytelling. And while it's not really that I had my doubts about comics, I just never really read comics. I certainly didn't have any disrespect for comic reading or anything. I am still somewhat amazed at how effective the storytelling is in terms of being a lasting thing. This is another example of that. This was a powerful set of books, and I didn't think it would be. So, read this one. I mean, whoever out there, if you can get your hands on the Lando series, read them. I'm excited about these short series, the Princess Leia series, the Lando series, the upcoming Chewbacca series. I think that's pretty good. It's a model that I really like, because we're not necessarily stringing it out. We're looking for a pivotal period of time for a character and say, we're going to tell something about this character in this point in time that matters. And I think that's really great. I think a lesson that television could probably stand to learn in a lot of cases. Many series and less ongoing series. So I look forward to the Chewbacca one now greatly, just to see where it goes and what we can learn about that guy, because to be honest, Chewbacca's another one we don't know really much about. So anyway, that was good. Highly recommended it. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe and join us back here for more comic reviews, more book reviews, more other interesting journeys into fandom. So until next time, may the Force be with you.